Cthulhu Jack.
With female superhero movies currently in freefall, I wanted to revisit three ladies whom I've had a long fondness and respect for while following their careers over the years. I'm talking about Michelle Yeoh, Maggie Cheung, and Anita from the heroic trio circa 1993 by Johnny To. Criterion just released this luscious film along with its sequel, Executioners, which I'll review next, both on 4K and Blu-ray. So let's dial back to 1993, when Hong Kong cinema was peaking with popularity in the States, both in film and print. These were little diamonds, not discovered by the art house crowd just yet, let alone any mainstream-run theaters. So when the heroic trio came out, I had already been well versed in Michelle, Maggie, and Mui's prior works. To have all three appear in one movie was a slam dunk for me. The heroic trio is a mixed bag of cartoonish melodramatic wire work with some heavy moments that take you on an emotional roller coaster. I had not seen this film since those theater days, so watching it on Blu-ray, wow. Absolutely gorgeous, and the colors just pop. Even with copious amounts of smoke pumped in, you can still see every nuance. Anita Mui plays Cheung, aka Wonder Woman. No, not that Wonder Woman. Though her powers other than the whip, I guess, would be similar. Her and her husband Lau purchased a dilapidated chateau from a bumbling estate agent I wouldn't trust to sell me a postage stamp. Throughout the runtime, the couple renovated to an almost Burton-esque meets British Hammer film style vibe. The underlying plot is driven by a baby-snatching scheme that we are introduced to further when strange happenings go on in the police precinct. The invisible effect gags in this film are top-notch, as an invisible culprit snatches a couple of newborns while making a break for it, out a window that is slightly larger than a human head. Now that's one limber supervillain. Thankfully, Wonder Woman appears by skipping over high electrical wires while flinging butterfly knives. Don't question any of the dynamics in this scene. In fact, don't question anything. Just go along for the ride. I would love to see directors Johnny To and Sam Raimi team up.
Gotcha, didn't I, you little sucker?
I bet their talents would take all this to an even zanier level. Wonder Woman manages to wound the invisible villain, but it's not enough to slow her down, and she vanishes with one of the kiddos, the chief of police's baby boy. As the sun rises, it reveals Cheung, played by Michelle Yeoh, whose servitude is to the evil master himself. Cheung delivers the chief's baby to the evil master, who spills his plan. The acid-tongue, Spitfire, and gorgeous bounty hunter Maggie Cheung arrives on screen like Steve McQueen. She plays... After wrapping up these baddies, she angles a deal with the chief to get his kiddo back. She's such a hothead asshole for most of the time, but is endearing and has a sweet turn in the end. This wasn't a typical role for her. Of course, when Chad's caper at the hospital is bamboozled, the following fight leads to quite honestly a devastating scene I had completely forgotten about. It took me a moment to gather myself after the innocent baby met his fate. With melodramatic music and angelic close-ups of Anita Mui's heartbroken expression, this Cthulhu god shed a few. Cheung's invisibility robe is a stolen prototype invention from her boyfriend, only known as the Professor, played by, get this, James Pax. Who is that, might you ask? He's freaking Lightning from Big Trouble in Little China. I was super stoked to learn that. The Professor is failing ill due to the toxicity of the robe and has no clue that his gal pal is stealing babies or borrowing his invention to do so. When the evil master presses Cheung to have the robe stolen ASAP, she's torn with love and doesn't want to deceive the Professor any longer. Since the evil master doesn't 100% trust her, he sends Kao, his guard dog so to speak, played by the always awesome Anthony Wong. Let me just pause here. I have mentioned him in past videos and will continue to review his works. But think about this. In 1993, the same year he was in this film, he was in 19 other movies, including the sequel to this, where he had a dual role. He always delivers 1000%. His role here is ridiculously abstract and hilariously evil. So much fun to watch. Especially when he pulls out his flying headlock. Kao is maimed, beaten, hit by a train, and finally incinerated. Or is he? The Professor eventually passes away, missing out on his blooming orchids. Cheung avenges his death and is joined by Chat and Tung for one last go-around with the evil master, which has some of the craziest moments I have ever witnessed and was so thrilled. The heroic trio is a bonkers ride that will keep you guessing on what happens next. As spastic as Johnny Toe's direction can be sometimes, he levels out where needed so that the melodramatic parts land with more impact. There are some tough short sequences with the younglings, so be advised. Michelle Yeoh, Maggie Cheung, and Anita never look so glowingly beautiful. I watched this on Blu-ray and it's flawless. After all these years, it's so wonderful to see these films remastered. So if you're into wire acrobatics, no flat CGI, and tough women actually kicking ass and taking names, with boys and girls even loving the trio, then this female superhero film is for you. Until next time. Love is for Lovecraft this February, 25% off store-wide at our Etsy shop. 158 5-star reviews with 440 sales and counting. So click links below to be notified. Many thanks for the support, and Hail Cthulhu!